What's good, world? It's your dude, Darryl K.
And I'm Quinn Cook.
We're coming to you from the coolest store in Baltimore, Collector's Corner. And we got a lot of great comic book reviews for y'all today. We got an awesome animated movie review, our first animated movie review. What you got for us today, Quinn?
All right. Today I have Batman number 23, a 0-year book. And I also have Secret Avengers number 7 by Nick Spencer. And our spotlight, Darryl,
Yeah, man.
is Infinity number 1.
It started. Yeah, man. It's going down.
Yep, 25 issues in the making. What do you got for us?
I can't wait to see my boy Black Bolt. Can't wait to talk about him. Well, I got something a little different today.
Okay.
I got a brand new book that my dude Dorian that works here at Collector's Corner put me on with, Suicide Risk from the Boom comic book universe.
Okay.
I'm about to start reading more comics from the Boom comic book universe because I actually love this title and I cannot wait to talk about it.
Okay.
And I also have one of my favorite guys. Oh my God, I get so excited.
It's gotta be the Flash, right?
Oh no, my other main man, Lobo. And this is one of my favorite comics because this is the comic when Lobo literally kills the DC universe, basically for Deadpool killed the Marvel universe. But Quan, we'll start with you first, like always.
All right. Well, Batman number 23. Man, I've been loving this series, but I can tell you that this issue falls short. This issue is supposedly supposed to be when Batman first dons his cape and cowl. That was, unlike the solicits, that is not the case. I feel like this story's been really slow-paced so far. This is the 3rd issue in the series, and we've had an annual that was supposed to be into the 0 year. I can tell you the annual and this book really fell short.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love Scott Snyder, I love everything that he's been doing, but this book has been really slow. We're seeing a lot of Bruce Wayne, not a whole lot of action. Yeah, we're getting to see detective work, that's cool. But I feel like this is really slow paced. You know, we're seeing the same things. Red Hood gang is after Bruce Wayne. Kind of find out their motives in this book. And of course, we're just getting just a little inklet of Edward Nygma. For those that don't know, he will eventually one day become the Riddler. This issue wasn't really fantastic. It's a good one for the collection, but some people have told me that maybe this will be better to read in trade. So I hope that's the case. This is number 3 in an 18-part series.
So what we giving it?
So we have a long road to go, but 2 out of 5.
You know what? That actually makes me happy. That's right, Batman fans. Batman actually got bad comics out there that y'all do not like to talk about. Eat it.
And on the Marvel side of things for me, I have Secret Avengers. Now, Nick Spencer has never been my favorite writer, but and if you guys do remember, I did actually do a review on number 1 of this book. This book actually has picked up from them. I gave a bad review for the first book. I'm eating my reviews. This book has been really cool. It's been really fun. This book, I think, is honestly something that actually makes AIM actually kind of cool. AIM is actually a legitimate threat, and we're seeing, you know, their ranks have been expanding. We have, you know, the Black Nick Fury on the cover. We have, you know, Mockingbird and Black
I love how
Widow.
you had to put the emphasis on the Black Nick Fury on the cover.
Yeah, it's actually his son in the Marvel universe now. But
Black
this,
Nick Fury.
yeah. But this issue was really fun. It was kind of wrapping up a story arc that we have going on, and there's actually been change in leadership roles in S.H.I.E.L.D. Daisy Johnson is no longer the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Maria Hill has once again taken back the spotlight. This book, I'd honestly give a 4 out of 5. It's a really fun book.
Yeah, man. I think it might need to be a 4.5 because we do have a beautiful redhead, and y'all guys do know I do love redheads.
We do. And this actually is very comparative to the movie, you know, to all of the Marvel Universe movies. You know, Iron Patriot did turn out to be Jim Rhodes. You know, things like that. So
I'm actually really surprised Mockingbird has not made an appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, just because you feel like she's one of them characters that's not really hard to do, and you can just throw it in there like Black Widow. People wouldn't be mad at you.
Right, and actually this issue does give a lot of emphasis on her. She's actually kind of left in distress. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but I am really cool to, I really want to see what happens next issue to her.
Cool.
What do you got for us today, Darryl?
Alright, let's get to my book that my man Dorian recommended today. Suicide Risk. Mike Carey, Ella. I'm not even going to try to say her name, so I apologize.
Ella something.
Ella something. I apologize. But Suicide Risk, and it's from the Boom comic book universe. Let me tell you that this is actually the first comic I have read from the Boom comic book universe, and I absolutely loved it. Basically, the story coming in, because this is the first issue, by the way, if you couldn't tell. This, the story of the book is basically that there's a world where there's few superheroes in there, and basically all the villains have superpowers, and superpowers are like drugs that you can like buy on the street. And basically, the police force are losing the war, but they're still not like getting help from like the military and like the Navy SEALs and all the government, even though they're fighting super villains as common criminals, which I don't understand. Basically, the guy on the cover, they actually did not give him a name in the first issue, which is pretty weird now that I think about it. He does not have a name.
Might be something to pick up on next issue.
Yeah, like he actually really does not have a name. Like really think about it, he does not have a name. But the story is so good that you actually don't even need his name to a certain extent. Basically, how it starts out is that they show him fighting, him and his team, SWAT team, fighting a gang of supervillains, basically.
That's cool.
And yeah, it's a pretty cool scene. Basically, what comes down to it is that the casualties are big. The villains actually beat the crap out of his whole SWAT team. His partner and one of his best friends gets his arm ripped off by somebody who's basically like a toned down version of the Hulk in the universe called Savage, Mr. Savage.
Okay.
And they got some really cool powers in here. The big emphasis that I love about this comic is that the storyline is based on what happened if you could buy a superpower as a drug, which I think is a very interesting story. And basically how it ends is that he decides to go behind the scenes as a narc in the streets to try to get the drugs, to try to get the powers, to try to get into the underworld to see what it's about. And it basically ends with him making a drug transaction.
Wow, I actually haven't read this book. That actually sounds like something I would like.
Yeah, this is a great book. It's definitely something different from your typical DC, your typical Marvel. You know, you got to branch out every once in a while, which I've been trying to show y'all guys with the last episode, and now I'm showing y'all again. I'm definitely going to have another comic for the Boom universe that I'm going to pick out because this comic actually really got me into the Boom universe. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to give this comic a 4 out of 5. Started out strong. I definitely want to see what more they have, and I definitely want to find out what this guy's name is. Yeah. Pick it up, guys. And
sounds like an interesting book.
Yeah, man. And my second comic book review is one of my personal favorites. I did him as most broken superhero a couple episodes back. Is the one and only, the main man, Lobo.
There you go.
Oh my God. First of all, let me tell you that I actually bought this comic with store credit that I won here at Collector's Corner in the Vanguard tournament on Sunday. My goal, personal goal for y'all guys out there that wants to know a little bit more about Darryl K is to buy every Lobo comic in existence because I love Lobo almost just as much as I love Flash and Wonder Woman and Aquaman. I love Lobo to the death. Basically, this is the DC version of Deadpool killed the Marvel universe of Lobo kills the DC universe. When Lobo literally kills everybody on here and more, from all the time periods from the Legionnaires all the way up to even Vandal Savage somehow gets involved, and it's pretty weird because he's supposed to be immortal. Lobo just kills everybody basically. This is a great book. You probably can find this in the $10 underbin. I paid about $4 for it here at CC, okay. So I definitely recommend this book if you're like in CC's or if you're just anywhere else out and about.
So this isn't a new book?
Yeah, this isn't a new book. This is definitely, I would say, a cult classic, definitely if you're a Lobo fan. Special all murder issue, it tells you right on the front, Lobo kills the DC universe. For a rating, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit biased. I could be biased and give it a 5 out of 5 because I love the main man, but let me be real. The storyline is what it is, what I told you. Lobo just killing people. So if you want a good slugfest of Lobo just being broken, beating the crap out of everybody, even killing Superman, definitely pick this up. 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5 I'll give this comic.
Sounds fair.
The big Lobo fan inside of me, 10 out of 5 for this comic, okay? The main man has spoken. All right, Quinn, we got the big spotlight, right?
We do. 25 issues in the making, 17 in Avengers and 8 in New Avengers. We are talking about Infinity, written by Jonathan Hickman. This comic was actually everything I wanted it to be. It's broken down into six different mini chapters, focusing on certain things. One's focusing on the Builders, one's focusing on the Avengers, one's focusing is on the...
my boy, don't forget him. Don't forget my boy Black Bolt.
Yep, Black Bolt.
Black Bolt is there.
And we do have the new Black Order, as Thanos calls them, makes their debut in this comic.
Yeah, Thanos just doing what Thanos does best. I mean, you know, he's Thanos, you know. He does what he wants and nobody stops him for some reason.
So I have been reading Thanos Rising, and I'm kind of seeing what they're doing here. Thanos is ready to claim the Earth for himself. The Avengers are gone. The X-Men have been pretty much torn in half.
Exactly.
It's an opportune time, and so this issue is really jam-packed for a $4.99 issue. I have to say, it's worth it.
I definitely agree with you, Quinn. It gives you definitely your cameos that you like to see from the Marvel Universe. You got the Illuminati, you got the X-Men, you got the Inhumans, you got some Skrull action in there.
We do.
Yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on for real. For people that don't know a lot about the builders and never heard of them all, the comic actually does a pretty decent job of introducing them to you. They don't really go into their origin, but you can get the gist of what they are and what they're there for. I actually really do like the Shadow Assassins. I can't remember their name right now at the moment.
I forget, but basically they even do a really good job in depth saying that they're bred for their master and they are loyal only to their master, who happens to be Thanos.
Oh yeah.
And you see one in particular going after Black Bolt for an unknown reason we know yet.
We don't know yet. But you gotta stay tuned to find out because my boy Black Bolt is about to kick some butt. He put the suit on, he started screaming, he opened his mouth. That was my boy. I love me some Black Bolt. Yo, Black Bolt's my man, yo. I love Black Bolt. He gets stuff done, y'all.
So what are you giving this issue?
Oh my god, I love Black Bolt. And I got to see T'Challa. I got to see Black Panther. I'm giving this a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, and I also have to give it a 5 out of 5. I feel like that was a really hard-hitting moment when T'Challa he has this machine in his hand, and Namor goes, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm sitting here trying to remember the man I used to be, and blows up an entire world.
Yeah, man. T'Challa. Definitely worth the pickup.
Yeah, so this issue is fantastic. Perfect reviews from us, so you really can't get any better.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so now we're going to turn it over to our movie review of the day.
Yeah, that's illegal in 2 countries, so I wouldn't suggest doing it. I mean, if you don't get it on camera, then it's fine. Hi, I'm Jacob. This week's movie review is on Flashpoint, Paradox. It's a cartoon film. Now, the voice of the Flash is Justin Chambers, but more interesting than that, the voice of Thomas Wayne is done by Kevin McKidd, who you may know from the television show Rome, movies like Bud Raku, and Hannibal Rises. Now, the movie takes place in Flash's past at first, and then we get into Flash's future after we see Flash's mother get killed. Now, none of this is a spoiler if you've actually read the graphic novel. This is all known information. Quickly so, Flash wakes up in an alternate dimension where Thomas Wayne is Batman instead of Bruce Wayne. Aquaman and Wonder Woman have started a war that's basically engulfing the whole planet. And Flash doesn't have any powers, so he must enlist the help of Thomas Wayne, who has no idea who the Flash is. This movie is a crazy look into an alternate universe of DC, because you get to see how origins get flipped. There is no Superman. Your favorite heroes are villains. Heck, and even some of your villains are heroes, because Slade, voiced by Ron Perlman for the 4 minutes he was in this film, was seemingly a good guy. It's a very interesting storytelling, and it stays mostly true to the graphic novel. Now, here's the problem. There are some things that were in the graphic novel that aren't in the movie, and if you're an anal nerd, you might not like it. But if you're not an anal nerd, hoping, this is a very good film. It's one of the best animated cartoon films ever. I would have a warning, though. Yes, it is a cartoon movie, but it's based off a graphic novel. Graphic. There's some pretty brutal scenes in here. Like Wonder Woman hangs a guy. Some decapitation. So yeah, Flashpoint Paradox. One of the best cartoon films I've seen in a very long time. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Go see it. I'm Jacob Mayberry. They don't tap dance in heaven.
Hey guys, it's Allie with another indie comic review. This week we're doing Jeffrey Brown's Clumsy. It's an autobiographical novel about a past relationship. I believe it's one of his earlier works. No color, the line's really delicate, kind of scrawly. It's not his typical style like Vader and Son or more recent publications by him. But it's really fantastic. He went through a breakup, and so he was kind of just, exploring his relationship with this girl. The good points and the bad points, how things ended. And if you leave feeling everything was resolved, he doesn't seem to harbor bitter feelings towards his ex, so it's not like some crazy rambly rant kind of thing. It's just well-rounded storytelling, and I highly recommend it. It's not my favorite style of art, but I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 for solid storytelling.
Alright guys, it's your dude Darryl K. I'm coming to you with your broken superhero of the week, or what I like to say, broken supervillain. And we're going to talk about my boy, Igor Thong, aka Reverse Flash, aka Professor Zoom. Now for y'all guys out there that don't know nothing about this guy, I first want to say that he's just not a guy with flash powers in a yellow suit. Igor Thong is so much more. My boy Zoom actually controls time. Actually, Zoom can actually suck the knowledge out of people just by touching them to a certain extent. Zoom is actually pretty ridiculous and actually more powerful than Flash, which is actually really scary just because Flash is already broken. Do you know Igor Thong can actually erase people out of existence? And he can also still siphon off the Speed Force when he already controls time, which is ridiculous. And not to mention that he is kind of a genius. He's from the 25th century, which is why his name is so eccentric, Igor Thong. I mean, what kind of name is that? But he's been actually a known nemesis of the Flash, and actually the Flash rival for, I would say, the past about 20 years right now in comics. They have really gave him a lot of shine. I figured that I would pick him at the broken superhero of the week just because we had the Flashpoint review today and he's the main antagonist in the animated movie, and also because it reminded me of how great of a character he is and how I would love to just see more of Igor Thong, aka the Reverse Flash, best known as Professor Zoom. So guys, there it is for you, your broken superhero of the week, a guy that has super speed, a guy that can actually control time, a guy that can actually erase you out of existence, take your intelligence by touching you with a thought, or just by touching you physically. My guy, Professor Zoom, and that's what Darryl K Says.
What's up guys, it's Quinn here, and I'd like to talk to you about my recent experience with a little show I like to call Comic Book Men. Alright, well I recently took a trip to Red Bank, New Jersey, home of Jay and Silent Bob's secret stash. And let me tell you what a day trip that was. I actually took it with 2 other friends, and let me tell you, I came in expecting to be an extra and just got a little bit more out of it. The cast and the crew looked really cool with everybody there, and let me tell you, I had a fantastic time. I'm really good friends with Rob Bruce, who is he's an extra on the show as well. He comes in and praises toys and comics if they're worth a little bit more. And I just had a fantastic time. I would honestly rate this experience 10 out of 10. I had so much fun. It was definitely worth the 3.5 hour drive that we took there. And I just had a ton of fun. If you guys don't know much about the Secret Stash, it's Kevin Smith, the director of Clerks' own personal pet project. Walt Flanagan, who's also done the art on The Winding Gyre, a Batman comic, is actually the co-star on there, along with Mike and Ming, who a lot of people like to compare me to. I don't get it. But anyway, it was a really good time, and just wanted to share the experience with you guys.